It's Television 87. Let's jump right into it. This latest episode of Basketball Wives, we have Jennifer and Christian. They're talking about their wedding and getting ready for everything. And this scene has kind of got people talking because here they're on their YouTube channel, they're recording a video or whatever. And Jennifer says one of her deal breakers is that she doesn't do broke, and Christian, her fiance, well, now husband, says that he actually wants to get a job. But check out this clip because it sounds like Christian Gold has really just exposed himself. So let's get into it.
So one of my deal breakers is you cannot be broke. I'm sorry. Like broke and me don't work. It's true. Like you could drive for Uber, you could do Postmates. There's so many things you could do online to make money. It's just like, to me, that's no excuse. I can't do broke. I'm allergic to it. I can't.
I actually asked Jen if I could go get a job, and she told me no. And I'm like, damn, why?
What do you mean? You have a job.
I don't have a job. I have a company.
Right, but that's your
Yeah, that's not a job.
That's your career. That's how you make money.
But I want another. Actually, it's actually not. That's not how I make money.
Babe, you don't make money off of your company. Yes, you do.
No, I don't. I do, but I make money off of a skill.
What are you talking about, sir? Like, we live a certain lifestyle, and you contribute to a lot of this. He has a skill of trading, and I guess he doesn't like to call it a job.
I could bartend at like a nice hotel, do like 2 nights a week.
I know bartenders, they make great tips, but I don't know if those tips are gonna get me a Kelly bag.
All right, so that's what Jennifer had to say about she doesn't do broke, this, that, and the third. And now Christian is saying, look, yeah, I have a company, but I want to go get a side job, this, that, and the third. But Jennifer is like, no, it's just, you can tell Jennifer is kind of caught off guard. She's taken aback. She's like, what is he even talking about? But Christian just, he's kind of stumbling and stuttering through that whole little scene right there. So I mean, it is what it is. They're together now, but the chatter here online is just like Jennifer is about to get scammed all over again. And then later on in this episode, they're once again talking about the wedding, and he brings up the fact that he has to pay restitution for a case that he caught some years ago. So let's get into that clip.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the situation we talked about with me and parole and still paying restitution.
Yeah.
It's an astronomical amount that I have to give to them in order to make sure I'm off. And we're talking a little under 250,000.
Christian is on probation from a case 10 years ago that is still affecting his life.
I went to prison behind a toxic relationship.
Really?
Never put my hands on her, right? I'm blocking the door, so I'm trying to have a conversation. It gets heated, and of course the judge had it out for me. She sent me to prison.
I knew about the restitution since day one. However, I didn't know the number. We have this extravagant wedding that is going to cost somewhere near that. It's just bad timing. So basically, there's $250,000 left. That's like $50,000 a month.
50K. But this is the reason why I want to be released from their control, because there's no hindrance on me traveling outside the country. And I would hate for that to happen a month before our wedding.
Yeah. Well, I think it is time for us to call her.
You got the link?
I do have the link. I'm thinking about, oh my God, we're about to talk to our wedding planner. She's definitely gonna ask us about budget, and it's a lot to digest.
All right, so that is what Christian is talking to Jennifer about. The restitution, $250,000. They have this big wedding coming up, but if he doesn't go ahead and take care of that restitution, he's not going to be able to travel outside of the country for the wedding. So it's it seemed like Christian is kind of like he's putting it out there, seeing if Jennifer can go ahead and cover this big bill. But if he's now, keep in mind, he already said, yeah, he has a company, but that's kind of not really how he makes money. But then if he would take all the jewelry off, his chain and his watch, which may or may not be real, I don't know, he could probably just go ahead and pay it, but $250,000 from a domestic violence case, that's just like, that's crazy. It seems like it's a lot more to that story than what he's explained on camera. But I just want to get into some of these comments. Somebody says, if she don't effing run as fast as she can for 250K, he did more than block the door. Let's be for real. Tell him sell his watch and put it towards that. If his jewelry real, that Cuban and watch should be able to get him enough not to need the 250K from her. Season 2 of Who the F Did I Marry coming soon. Is Jennifer slow? How is she so picky but still picked the wrong man? She's making a huge mistake. The signs are there, but her life. It is her life at the end of the day, but you know, can't say that you know, I don't know at this point. If Jennifer didn't learn from the Tim from Sweetie Pies and then the other guy who stole her Range Rover or whatever the case was, something like that, then I don't know. But we'll see. We just saw a post of them the other day. They seem to be still, all roses and whatnot. So we'll just see what happens. But let me know what you guys think about the whole Jennifer and Christian situation. Next story I want to get into Apollo. Apollo, Phaedra Park's ex-husband. Now he's with somebody else, this Shireen lady. They're together, but apparently there was a domestic violence charge back in March, and it started from a verbal altercation. So about how the two were apparently cheating on each other. It's just a mess. There's one thing Apollo is good for is being in trouble. So this is what happened. Apparently, back in March, Apollo was charged with family violence battery after being arrested for an alleged altercation with his wife, Shireen Al-Mufti. Based on a police report, Al-Mufti arrived home after hanging out at a bar and having drinks with friends, later calling the police. She told them that they were having a verbal altercation about how they're cheating on one another. In legal documents obtained by Page 6, Al-Mufti told police that in the midst of the argument, Apollo showed her a video of her kissing another man. He then pulled her by the hair and pushed her against a refrigerator, causing them to get into a fight after she ran out of the house calling for help, later going inside to call the police. Instead, Nida fled the scene. Once officers arrived, Al-Mufti shared surveillance footage of the verbal part of the altercation, but then showed the alleged physical assault. Apollo later returned and gave his rundown of events, which lined up with hers, excluding the physical aspect. He instead says he tried to take her phone away in the middle of the back and forth when she suddenly balled up onto the ground to keep her phone. After he took it, that's when she ran outside. He claims he returned the phone shortly after. Al-Mufti declined medical attention and didn't display any bruising for the alleged scuffle. Apollo was arrested and hit with the domestic violence and simple assault charges, released on a $3,000 bond. Prosecutors also tagged him with a misdemeanor count of simple battery, family violence for pulling her hair and shoving her. Let me know what you guys think about this. Now, you all remember how she came onto the scene and was like, oh, I got Apollo, this, that, and the third. It seemed to me like, she was happy with Apollo, but it seems like clearly Apollo hasn't changed from his time being with Phaedra. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Some of these comments say one thing about Apollo, he gonna go to jail. And everyone on RHOA that didn't believe Phaedra had a reason to be scared or doubt her safety concerns owe her an apology. This whole time she thought she was better than Phaedra. This is why you can never laugh at another woman's pain. Go away from me with this. Ladies, please choose the boring guy because the so-called fine, exciting guy is a total waste of your time. Ladies, this just proved the next woman is getting the same problem. All right, just a few comments there, but drop your thoughts down below. Apollo getting into trouble again, and this whole situation with Christian and Jennifer over there on Basketball Wives. All right, thank y'all for watching Television 87, and if you want to check out another video, there's one right here for you guys. Catch y'all in the next one.